Good morning everybody, and welcome back to the channel. This is indeed my first commute of 2022 and my first commute on the bike for about a month. It was about a month ago, a little bit over a month ago, that I got COVID, and then there was Christmas and New Year, and then there was Omicron, and the office was work from home, so I've been working from home. And then this week, today is Wednesday the 19th, Wednesday 19th of January 2022, timestamp. Monday, Tuesday, I decided to go into work by tube because it was a bit icy, or at least risk of ice, and since my last little escapade and my little moment on the ice, I just decided take it easy, go on the tube. Now that the tube is easy, because yesterday it reminded me of why I would much rather not be on the tube for commuting, because they just decided that, oh, we're going to have a train and blah blah blah, and the trains are going to be held at platforms, and screw the passenger who's paid a modicum of, in my case, just about £8 for the privilege of the smelly tube with the unmasked passengers. But hey ho, what a better way to start the year commuting vlogging than a proper rant. Let's have a rant. So why was I extra careful considering whether to commute on the bike? If you're not in the UK, and even if you are in the UK, if you live in one of those wonderful areas where your insurance for your motorbikes is cheap, and you may not be familiar with a company called MCE. So MCE are both an insurance broker, and they had an in-house dedicated part of their group underwriter. Now, this underwriter, well, obviously they've been taking a lot of business because they actually quoted reasonable prices for insurance, several £100 cheaper than the next best in my case, when I took out my insurance with them in March of last year. But quite clearly they were mispricing the risk, or they were doing something else that was dodgy, because they were told to cease trading and they were put in administration. Now, that doesn't necessarily affect the broking business, because it's technically separate. I'll bet you they have very similar owners. The brokerage business was able to carry on, but all of their customers who had been sold policies underwritten by MCE Limited Gibraltar, which was put into administration, now that underwriters are gone and your claims are being handled by basically a bankruptcy administrator. Which well, I'll be very keen to take care of creditors first. Well, creditors second, after the revenue, of course. The government must be paid first. Then the creditors, people who they owed money to. Then maybe the customer, and maybe last the employee, and last of all any shareholders. So fair enough, I had heard some stories about them being even worse at handling claims and paying out than was usual for them, which wasn't great to begin with by reputation. But okay, fine. However, earlier this month I received a letter from MCE stating that they were disclaiming my insurance as of the 31st of January and that I had to seek alternative insurance arrangements. All this time, MCE, the brokers, are still in business, and they've got another underwriter underwriting for them exclusively, and they're merrily going about continuing, and the owners continue to make money out of whatever ridiculous fees they charge. Watch my other rant about MCE here. And you know what I haven't heard any news about? I haven't heard any news about people being fined, arrested, or charged with crimes because something dodgy I'm sure has happened here. What I have heard about is policyholders who have been left high and dry. MCE sold a lot of policies to people like courier riders and delivery riders who have to have that insurance to work. They charge quite a lot for those policies because it's a higher risk. Of course, that's how it works. Well, technically and theoretically, that's how it works. But those guys who need to have that insurance to work and make a living, I saw at least one guy who said, well, it was only 3 months ago that I paid £2,000 for my insurance policy, and now I have to get another one from somebody else. How am I going to do that? I can't afford it. I'm going to have to get a loan to get an insurance policy so I can continue to work. And when am I going to get a refund? So the administrators have left the Financial Services Compensation Scheme to pick up the bill and refund the customers. Well, we don't know when that's going to happen, how long that's going to take. I'm actually quite fortunate. I didn't have much time to run on my policy. I only had about a couple of months. Middle of March was when I was going to have to renew, so I wasn't due that much money. But what I did miss out on potentially was an extra year of no claims, which would have given me a discount on the next one. But yeah, this is a very skewed relationship, isn't it, between insurers and the insured. They can charge you whatever fees if you need to make a change. I should have been able to charge them the same administration fee for every single crappy email they sent me over the last few months, because they basically changed the terms and they changed the conditions, they changed the underwriter, they changed who was handling things several times. Now I have an administrative burden on those. I have to take note of the numbers, I have to make decisions. It changes my risk perception. When I change something like adding commuting to my policy, they can charge me a £75 administrative fee. Why can't I charge them an admin fee every time they do one of those changes? And how comes they can just walk away from the risk, disclaim the insurance, and leave customers high and dry? The law is definitely skewed in favor of the big insurance business, and I would love to see the long arm of the law get hold of whoever had dodgy financial dealings, or oh hello, yeah, you're doing that, okay, or negligence or whatever, and punish them. So that's my rant. Bloody insurance. However, and there is always a however, we must always look on the bright side and look for the silver linings in all the clouds. Now, you may remember, dear viewers, that I was looking to get another bike, and I would have gotten it already if it hadn't been such a faff getting insurance for it, because quotes I was getting were quite expensive unless I was to do a motorbike insurance and use some of the no claims that I have accumulated on this bike here. So, but to do that, obviously I would have had to cancel my MCE policy, which would have probably incurred me a fee that was larger than the money I would be owed for a refund on the unused policy. So I was delaying my purchase until that time. So on the positive side, I have to get a new insurance policy now. So I have got one. It is a motorbike one, and yes, we're getting a second bike. I'm not going to tell you what it is just yet. You're going to have to wait. But there is a new bike coming to the channel. So it's always good to end on a positive note. Thank you very much for watching and listening. And let me know if you have any horror stories to share about your insurance. Actually, or any good stories, any praise, and I do have some praise here. I ended up going with an insurance policy from Commuting Insurance, which is just a real trading name. It's actually done everything by Backshore. It wasn't cheap. This is London. I am commuting on this bike, so the premium is tends to be a little bit salty. But it was actually much better than the quotes I was getting last year just for a single bike. So it's not too bad. It's affordable, by me at least. So Backshore actually stated, or Kawasaki Insurance, Backshore, same thing, that anybody who'd had an MCE policy for over 9 months with no claims, they would honor that as an extra years of no claims. And so I was able to avoid losing a whole year of no claims, and I actually got a quote based on 5 years no claims. So thank you very much, Backshore. You guys in this instance were absolute stars. Sure, just cross in front of me, pull out, whatever. See, what I don't want to do right now is have a claim and have to make a claim via MCE, which is why I have been overly careful and reluctant to use the motorcycle for a commute. It's only another couple of weeks, but yeah, this is how this affects people. Anyway, like I said, positive note, new bike, yay, happy days. So please leave a comment below, let me know your opinion on insurance business, insurers in general. Any good stories, any bad horror stories, why not? So yeah, I'd love to hear from you. Once again, happy new year. Thank you for joining me on this lovely commute of 5 Celsius, so thankfully not icy. This lovely commute today. It's still dark, isn't it? It's already 8 o'clock and it's still dark. I hope you stick around, and I'll see you around. Take care, my friends. Stay safe. Bye bye.